Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this chill Friday show. How's everyone? I hope you're all good. It's Friday. We made it through another week. It's been a crazy week, by the way, because let me make myself bigger and let me take my screen off so you can see me. Hey, yeah, so that's better. I am driving solo today because my partner in crime, JP, is still not feeling well. Yeah, he's gone down with a cold, and therefore I am delivering this myself, which is good. Although we'll miss him because I'll be talking to myself and you guys for the next hour or so as we build stuff. I hope everybody had a good week. It's been fairly crazy for us because school started. So for the first time in 18 months, me and my wife had some alone time without the kids around the house, and it was eerie quiet. But hopefully things will remain as they are, and we won't have any surprises from COVID and getting people back and forth. And yeah, it's been a great week. And now we're here to wrap up stuff and have a chill stream talking about security and Python and learning with you. Yeah, how you been? What are you guys up to? Anything new? Let me know what your plans are for Friday. It's also gonna be a long weekend for us because Monday is Labor Monday or Labor Day, and therefore nobody's around. Hey, Shirley Dev. The 45 show is still streaming showing science technology, by the way. I know. For some weird reason, Restream has not picked up the new tag, but let me see if I can actually change it. It should be software, right? Software. Although I don't know if I can change it after the fact. So let's see. I'll try. Let me know if that's changed it. Hey, Bruce Lane. Welcome, friends. Getting ready for Windows 11. Nice. Zulu Brave 3 or Zulu Brave. There you go. I can read cool names. Getting ready for Windows 11. What does that mean? Are you backing up your machine in order to move to Windows 11, or are you getting excited because Windows 11 is going to be delivered or released in October? How many of you here are running Windows 11, by the way? I mean, I'm running Windows 11. It was actually pushed down to us. It changed. Oh, nice. Thank you, Shirley. There. Thanks for confirming. I don't know if Restream will actually pick it up anytime soon because I think it was just released yesterday, right? I saw Jeff Fritz talking about that going live, and I saw he retweeted the official Twitch handle that said software and game development is now officially available. I need to check Restream, but in the meantime, I can always come into the actual channel and change it. Also, Zulu Brave is doing info and updates, which is great. I got the latest updates yesterday, and then I came to my machine this morning and everything was frozen. So there was nothing working. I had to do a restart, but now everything is back to normal. I think I'm running an insider dev build on my machine. Now, funnily enough, I did not sign up on my main box, which is this, for Windows 11 because I want to make sure that everything is smooth before the big release. But apparently Microsoft was keen enough for everyone to try it, so I had it. I got on my machine one day and Windows 11 was here. I mean, it's been running very smoothly. I have no complaints, and I love the new UI. I love the new setup, and all the new capabilities are awesome. So I think Windows 11 is going to be the new Windows XP, right, of 2020 decades, because it's super awesome, new UI, I love improvements, love simplicity, and I like it. Yeah, exactly. Zulu Brave says. Yeah, so let me know what your guys are up to. Do you have anything exciting planned for the weekend? Are you doing anything for Labor Day if you get the long weekend like us? I know not every part of the world is celebrating Labor Day on the same day. I think in Greece it's May 1st, always. I can't remember when it was in the UK. Man, I was in the UK for 20 years and I can't remember where Labor Day was. If somebody's from the UK on the stream, please correct me because I cannot remember. I think Ed, Charlie, and lots of numbers tried to put a link, and Microsoft Developer does not support links. So you will have to type it to me if you want me to look at something. Otherwise, just came back from the south of Italy for AV performances. What is AV performances? Audiovisual performances? AV? Is that what I'm hearing? I'm streaming, so come and say hello to everyone. What? And audiovisual. Okay. Did you do audiovisual performances, Bruce? Interested in? Sorry, was reading code. What did you say about the UK? I said I can't remember when Labor Day is in the UK. As I said, 20 years in the UK, and I can't remember when Labor Day is. I'm getting old, I'm telling you. You gonna say bye or hi? No? My daughter is shy. They're getting ready for school now, so they're going up and down the house. They're too excited. The fact that they're back at school, physically back at school, super exciting for them. We don't have Labor Day what? We didn't celebrate Labor Day. Probably that's why I don't remember when we celebrated it, because we never celebrated. Are you sure we don't have Labor Day? Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I know we have bank holidays, lots of bank holidays. More bank holidays in the UK than we have in the US. And yeah, in case you're wondering where I'm getting the chat, if you are on the Microsoft Developer channel, we're also streaming on the 4 to 5 show. So, you know, if you can jump back and forth if you want to, but I'm monitoring both chats at the same time. So that. Yeah, I had one last Monday. Nice. Yeah, I mean, bank holidays are nice. They give you the opportunity to take some time off. Although in some cases, it feels like you're coming. We only have 8 per year. Only 8 bank holidays? It felt more. But interestingly enough, I would say that the annoying thing about bank holidays is that you come back and you have a 4-day week. And you have to fit the 5 days work in 4 days. Since when did Twitch split science and tech to software and game development? Caparino is saying. Well, Caparino, I think there was a lot of demand from Twitch streamers that do a lot of coding and game development to be split out from science and podcasts and stuff. So that's why now we have our own dedicated tag. You don't like it? I thought it was nice. I mean, for me, it was exciting. Defines only 8. Yeah, I know. Only 8. That's not good. Yeah, that's good. Oh, you're happy now. Okay, good. I thought you were a bit upset that we split out from science. In the last few days, yeah, that's what happened. I like Charlie Davis on both channels answering questions. That's very good. I mean, since when did this happen? I think this happened like in the last month. I don't know if the announcement from Twitch that came out yesterday was the seal the deal, but I know that Jeff Fritz and quite a few other devs have been lobbying Twitch and requested for that split, for that specific section, which is great because now it's easier to discover developer streams rather than listening to NASA or geophysics, which is, I mean, these are interesting topics, but then again, having coding intermingle with all these things didn't make it easy. That explained last days I don't see much interesting software development streams in science. Yeah, people moved. I think as soon as they figured it out, they were out. Everybody was expecting that. Okay, so maybe the last 4 days, maybe this week it was announced. People are saying that they get more bank holidays in other parts of the country. Where is that? Defines where you're based. 9, 10. Juneteenth. So I suspect that you're in the US if you're talking about Juneteenth, which is nice. Any interesting news that you heard? Security, software, like anything exciting that we should be talking about today? We should look at, raise awareness on. I know that from my side of things, there's one exciting thing, which is the new VS Code editor, which is available for browsers only. Windows 11 release October 8th. That is true. We announced the date. And there might be some new hardware, like maybe new surfaces to go with it. I don't know. I mean, Mr. Panos is keeping the lid on that information quite tight, so we don't know. But I suspect that if they are going to release a new Windows 11, they might as well go with a new set of machines as well, right? Maybe new Surface laptops and new Surface devices. That would be nice. That would be nice. I may have to give my Surface laptop to one of my colleagues because she just joined our team, but her previous laptop was riddled with issues. So looking fit. Yeah. What do you think about the t-shirt? You gotta want it. It's pink as well. My daughters were, Daddy, you're wearing pink. I'm like, hey, I can wear pink. I'm comfortable with it. Thank you, Code with Son. Trying to get fit, by the way. I had a weird small operation on Monday, so that meant I couldn't do any exercise. But today I'm back. Men wearing pink. Did you know that back in the early beginning of the 20th century, pink was a men only color, and it was supposed to symbolize strength. And for some weird reason, after the turn of the 1940s, it changed. So blue became the boys' color and pink became the girls' color. But up until that point, like 1920s, 1930s, it was the other way around. So pink was the manly color. And to be honest, we try to tell our girls that there are no boys and girls colors. Should I allow that comment there from Frackberg? I'll allow it. I will allow it. Fine. Held a message for reason. What? Underwear. What? I need to read this one. I thought I was losing weight. Turns out it was a Code with Sod. That must have been super elastic, man. Oh, Thessaloniki. Wow, man, that's my hometown. Shout out, Mazanki. Hope everyone is good. Thessaloniki. How's the temperature all in there? I'm not Frackberg. I know you're not Frackberg. One of my favorite shirts for my gray suit is pink. I know. I got married in a pink shirt. Blue stripe suit and a pink shirt. I love pink. It's a lovely color. And it just rattles my kids because they're both girls and they have fun. And when they see me wearing pink, they always comment. But I love this t-shirt. This is from Battery Bros. They're like super into fitness and what's it called? CrossFit. And I saw this shirt, I was like, I need to have it. You gotta want it. How can I not want this shirt, right? One of the real gentleman colors, exactly. You know what? You can wear any color you want. I don't see, I was thinking the other day, I have a ton of clothes I haven't worn in forever. I had suits because back in the UK when I was working as a consultant, I was wearing suits, going to different customers and different work. I haven't put a single one of them on in over 6 years. Because when I joined Microsoft, I switched into a more casual kind of a, business casual, right? But it was not suits. So I haven't put any suit or tie in forever. And then I haven't been into any formal things since we came here. Therefore, I don't even know if I will fit in them, which is a scary proposition. I need to lose weight anyway. But you're into fitness, I'm into fitness with this pizza in my mouth. That's exercise. You have to lift your arm and put it in your mouth. And if you do that 100 times, that's exercise. Just make sure you alternate hands so you don't work out just one side. Your shoulder work. Code with Son. Both sides. How about that? Definitely don't fit in any suits currently. You know what? I am scared to test my jeans. I have no idea if I will even fit in them. And also I don't want to put any long trousers on. I've been working from home for 18 months and it's usually shorts. This is my attire. That's a Nike short. So I don't want to go back into programmer with suit. Well, you know what? You have to sell it. Caprino, you have to sell it, man. When you work as a consultant, especially in the UK, there's an expectation of being a little bit more formal. And some companies would actually ask you to be more formal, especially if you're working for 3 months or 6 months. If you're working in banks, you can go there. I don't know if anyone is from the UK here on streams or they work in more formal environments. in the UK, if you're working in a bank, no matter what you do, you need to wear a suit, formal attire, and then on Fridays they had like a casual dress, but you have to pay for it for charity, and it was weird. So yeah, I mean it was a requirement. So I had a few. Now I haven't put them on in 7 years. I don't know. Like I have like 25 shirts sitting in my closet, not seeing any light of day. Yeah, programmer with a suit. You know what? At one of my jobs, I was voted the most well-dressed developer. Not the best developer, just the well-dressed developer. Because yeah, you haven't seen my code, have you? Code with Son. Code is speaking at his user group. Is that not like it's your user group, so you speak every time you want? I see what you're doing there. Sure, man. Drop the link. What are you talking on? What are you speaking on at your user group this time? I know that Son's user group is fantastic. If you guys want to ever join, he's got some really good speakers, not me. It's in Tulsa, so it is US time zone bound, but he also records them from dev to cloud architect. Oh, that's like a career progression. Is that it? Are you doing soft skills? How you do it? How you get there? What do you need to learn? I suspect that's it. So I'll put the link. Yeah, thanks for putting the link there. And then I think I can highlight it as well. I had the software for highlighting things. Give me a second. Give me a second, Sean. We will make it happen. So let me see. Streaming. I need to go into feature chat. I need to sign in. It will say sign in, log in. Yes. It will ask me for that. And then I will highlight it. How about that? Passport. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, you know what? He can't see the stupid links. Yeah, feature chat doesn't see the links. Sorry, man. I can't highlight it. But I can actually copy paste it on the other window on Microsoft Developer. Yeah, banks. Exactly, Caparino. That's the problem. If they could force clients to wear suits to get in, they would do it. I know. It's like this weird expectation of you need to wear formal clothes, like they're changing you to a super developer if you wear a suit, but if you wear jeans, then you're not as good as a developer. It's weird. I'm in the office right now waiting for a coworker so we can start yet another meeting. Hey, that's exciting. Meetings upon meetings. Be sure to mention to JP next time you see him that you go 110 on Kubernetes. Oh, Kubernetes? I mean, he's not here to trigger him, man. He's not here. I love it when I trigger him. Right? It's like Kubernetes and containers. Microsoft Developer, have you ever been in Silicon Valley? No, I haven't. I've been in San Francisco. And we're based in Redmond. I'm based in Redmond. Therefore, I work from here. Silicon Valley would be like a tourist visit for me because so many things have happened there. I would love to go and see ground zero, right? Where everything started. So I plan on doing it once things go back into some kind of normality or the new normality post-COVID. And I've been to San Francisco, which is stunning. I was there for the Games Developer Conference in 2018. 18 or 19? 19. 2000. It was 19? I'm losing the sense of time now because it's still March 2020, day 575. It was great. Sunny weather. San Francisco was nice, but I only saw the center of San Francisco. I didn't get enough time to go and explore. And I was at the conference center most of the day. So, yeah. I've been working remotely for the last 6 years, either with customers in their offices or from home. I haven't had an office in forever, and I like working from home. It's nice. You can see I can wear this. Nobody can comment on that. And I can also, I have my full desktop. I have all my monitors, like 3 monitors around. Oh yeah, last week we did this awesome kind of judge my rig, right? So people would send their desktops. So thanks for everyone who participated. We have a Discord channel. So if you haven't been there, let me just Discord. If you ever want to join us, yeah, my office is dope. Thanks, man. It took a while to get there, right? But make sure you join us on Discord. Obviously, we have fun and we also do work there. So we answer questions or anything else that you might want to know. Sometimes it's architecture conversation. How do I do X with my technology? It's always fun. And yeah, it was last week we did that, and I thought I didn't take a picture to put it on mine there to judge. So if you want us to look at your monitor and or your setup, and we can provide some critique, then let us know. Somebody sent his desktop that looked very similar to mine. It was scarily similar. Same mic, same speakers, same monitor layout, more or less. They even had a vertical monitor like I do. And I was like, what? How's that even possible? Okay, AKS, code was on saying AKS is easy to get started. Is it? Is it easy to get started? I mean, I always felt that I need to start with containers. Then I need to go into Kubernetes. And then I need to graduate into AKS. Or is that not the right way to go? Do I... Fuel snubble. Is it not the way? Like I thought that I need to know containers well before I jump into Kubernetes. And then before I jump into Kubernetes, AKS, I need to know Kubernetes pretty well. I get it. I mean, it might be easier to just grab whatever you have and dump it into AKS and let the platform take care of that. Is there 4 to 5? Well, somebody's asking. April Mayun. April Mayun? Lynn would represent. Well, the 4 to 5 show has the name came from some brainstorming we did in the team, and we're trying to figure out how to name the show. And 4 to 5 in HTTP land, if you are doing REST APIs and what have you, then 4 to 5 means too early. It was too early when we started the show because initially we agreed at 10 a.m. And I said, yes, 10 a.m. sounds good with JP when we were doing the stream. And turns out that it was 10 a.m. his time and his Eastern. So it was 7 a.m. for me, which is Pacific, which was awful. So 4 to 5 was the perfect error code, too early. However, we are in Redmond and we are based here, and 4 to 5 is the Redmond area code. So we can be the Redmond show, we can be the Microsoft show, or we can be the too early show. You make up your mind, April, but it is what it is. You simply pay me to explain things about AKS. If you ever want to learn anything about AKS, Code with Sean is your man, right? He is the dude. He's done a lot of stuff with AKS. In fact, we had him on the show to talk about Pulumi. If memory doesn't fail me, he was good. The 45 show, the name of the show, 409, the conflict in hours. Yeah, we definitely had a conflict in hours. Time zones are a mess. As you heard JP crying about it during the our calendar last Tuesday. It was Tuesday, right? When we're trying to figure out how the calendar works and parsing the calendar and doing the time zones. So yes, it was January. I thought it was Code with Sean is saying that he came on the show in January. I thought it was last October. Damn, time moves so fast. But yeah, RFC 2549. No, I have not seen RFC 2549. What is it? Should I go there or will it scare me? RFC. Also, it will be something about identity and I'll be caught with red-handed, not knowing what it is. IETF tools. IP over avian carriers with quality of service. Interesting. Look it up, it's funny. Oh, okay. It's a fun joke. See, from 1999. It's still experimental, by the way. I'm gonna share my screen so people can see what I'm talking about. Let me just change that. So RFC is about IP over avian carriers with quality of service, QoS. IP datagrams, okay? So sending packets to planes with quality of service. Homing pigeons based communication. Is that it? All avian carriers are pigeons? And there's an RFC for that? I love it. Man, the internet was born for these things. I'm telling you. It was born for these things. You know, add sources, local video, background music. I need to connect my, I've got a soundboard and I've got a stream deck. I need to connect my soundboard so I can play funny noises like other streamers do. Do you guys like that? Having fun? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Max, have you aligned the taskbar on the right? No, I haven't. But what I've done, because the screen looks a little bit weird, just sync at it. No, it's not. It's actually, I changed the resolution on the screen. And I went from full 4K to 2460 by 1440, which is nice. But don't, in my humble opinion, don't add sound effects. Now I could play the because you didn't like it. It's fine. I'm just kidding. I haven't managed to do that. Also, I haven't managed to hook up my OBS because JP uses OBS. I haven't hooked up mine because he changes the setup and the scenes all the time, and I need to catch up and sync all the time. And then I don't know if you've ever done this, but OBS doesn't sync across devices, and therefore it's absolutely appalling because you have to set it up from scratch every single time. And then if you import things, then they keep the original settings. So if JP does something on his screen, and then I have to grab the same settings, for example, then I have to reset everything from scratch. So it takes like a day to reset OBS. StreamYard or Restream or whatever you use is so much easier. But we are working on a stream VM, which will have everything about OBS, and everybody can jump in that VM and start streaming without having to worry about setting it up every single time. So we're working on that. Put your settings in a share folder in OneDrive. Yes, we can do that. That's absolutely right. We've done this before. However, the different layouts and different monitor settings means that those same settings don't work across the board. And the centering and the layouts are very different. Trust me, my friend, we've done this before. So anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, it's for some weird reason, if I change the resolution on my monitor, then the taskbar just moves to the side. I think there's a bug. I need to raise it with Jen from our team, or she manages the actual Windows releases, and she also collects bugs. So if you ever have any issues, just hit up Jen MSFT on Twitter and then let her know, which I need to do as well, but it will be an internal bug. That was the excellent. Thank you, Sean, for sharing this. I don't have any pigeons, so I can't send things. Checking settings in Git. Again, it's not the settings and how we share them. It is about the fact that different screen resolutions will mess up with OBS and you have to reset everything from scratch. That's why we're going to have a central one streaming device that everybody will be using, because as more people join our team and as more people start streaming, like the guys on Wednesday that do the IT Pro stuff, if they don't use Restream, which is all set up, then if they want to use OBS, they have to set everything from scratch again, and that's not good. Plus, you can do some super advanced stuff with OBS, which we want that. Anyway, so it is what it is. Yeah. The other news for me was that Python, we're going to be talking about Python today. So I'm not the most eloquent developer in Python, and I would say I'm in a beginner stage, but since we're talking about Python, I was like, hey, what are the latest news? And we just released a new extension for Python in VS Code, which allows you to be a lot more efficient, richer editing experience, and they have support for, they have better IntelliSense, some testing, new testing capabilities, but write tests. Sorry. I'm just kidding. Please do write tests. Just because we don't do them on the stream, we will start doing them, by the way. The plan here is to be a lot more complete when we show you solutions, but tests are important, very important. And then new button for debugging files and running it. What does that do? That was always there, wasn't it? Oh, look at that. Nice. We'll see if I have that there. Okay, when we start playing today. And yeah, that's the plan. So that was it. And then the other one, which is super big, is VS Code on the browser. So if you go vscode.dev, check this out. Boom. How awesome is this? Ta-da! Yeah, do as I say, not as I do. We'll start doing more tests, promise. Yeah, so now, as you can see, VS Code anywhere, run it on the browser. It does not have to be tethered to a GitHub repo. That's the important bit, because you can do it on a GitHub repo. We showed that the last time. If you go to any repo and press dot, or if you change the URL from .com to dev, github.com to github.dev, it will open VS Code, but it is bound to that specific repository, whereas this one is available everywhere, and you can use it anywhere. It just runs on the browser. However, as I noticed, there are certain limitations. For example, you cannot do C#. Soon VS Code will be adopted to iPad and touchscreens. I know, it will be. I mean, it's already there, right? But so if I say C#, for example, check this out. It is grayed out. The C# extension is not available in Visual Studio Code Insiders for the web. And that's the insiders. Hey, Darkcry69, hello. Welcome to the stream. F# supported? Well, if I suspect that if C# is not supported, I don't know how F# would be supported. You need the same runtime, right? You need the .NET CLR to run stuff, and therefore you don't get it. You get highlighting or some supporting extensions for F# and C#. Like for C#, I think they had one for, yeah, INI is grayed out as well, exactly. So C#, they have like, hey, C# snippets, which is useless without C#. So I wonder, like, I don't know if that's early days and therefore we don't get full support for the languages, but they do have Python, I guess. Python. And they probably have Node. No. Node. TypeScript? Surely. JavaScript, TypeScript. TypeScript v next, okay. So you got that. So yeah, INI is mostly JavaScript from F#, but relies on OmniSharp. C# is just a very small language next to Python. Is it? How small is it? I mean, it could be small. I know that there's a lot more applicability for Python or more demand for Python, but at the same time, I feel that C# is been out there for a while and has good traction. Doesn't matter. I mean, whichever language you like the most, I don't mind. But yeah, you might be right. I mean, Python probably has more developers out there. And JavaScript, like JavaScript, Python, C#. Go. I haven't done any Go. We need to do some Go. So I was thinking Rust or Go would be my next goal, but I think Python is a good thing to dig my teeth in, because, as you say, like between C# and Python, I don't think you can ever be unemployed. And add JavaScript on top of that, and you got everything you need. Right? Right. Okay, so I've been, I put on Twitter the other day, yesterday in fact, that I actually published my first Python package. And I felt accomplished, obviously, because it's not a small thing. And this actual package, which is specific to FastAPI, allows you to do token validation and scope validation in your APIs, which is great because I'm working on a FastAPI course with the Talk Python folks to build a course about how to secure your FastAPIs, your Python FastAPIs with Azure Active Directory. And as I was looking at how to do it, there is a library called FastAPI AD, I think. AD. Yeah, that one. But as I was looking at that, I didn't like it. Like, it wasn't doing what I wanted to. And I went and built the library. So we'll do a quick tour on that. But first, Darkcry69 has a question. Let's find out on Microsoft Developer. You know there is a feature in Firebase where you can make a change in the database and you can use streams to instantly reflect that change in your app or website. Is there anything like that for MongoDB? Well, that's a very good question. I don't know if one exists for MongoDB. And in fact, based on my knowledge of MongoDB, I would say that there isn't one. for Mongo to stream. In effect, what you're looking is for a push update back to your app, right? So rather than polling MongoDB for changes, you are expecting, uptime, we started at 8, road 5, and it's been streaming, road 5. Oh, wow, I didn't know that uptime works on Microsoft Developer. That's insane. Yeah, we started at 8 o'clock, but we've been just chilling here, so we haven't really done any coding or anything else. We're just getting started now with Python. So Darkrai 69, I would say that this is probably not available in MongoDB. And if anyone is a MongoDB developer among us here, please correct me. I would expect that you need to create some kind of a service that pushes back to your app so changes can instantly be reflected. Since I'm a .NET developer, I would say SignalR is the way to go, or you can use something like Azure Functions to actually respond to MongoDB changes if you're running on Azure. And then from there, you can actually push down using SignalR again to your front end. But yeah, Firebase has some really cool features that are not found anywhere else. There's no surprise there why it's so well established with application developers. Yeah, sorry, I don't know if that really helped Darkrai, but the answer for me is no, from me at least. But again, as I said, I'm not really deep into MongoDB, and I could be wrong. I mean, we can find out. MongoDB streaming. MongoDB streaming sets, stream sets. What's that? What's MongoDB stream set? Oh, this, yeah, I suspect like this will be pushing streams or batches to MongoDB. I don't know what will be the solution for that. If I were building that solution on Azure, I would probably use Cosmos DB with the MongoDB API, and then I would use Azure Functions to respond to changes. So somebody updates or inserts a record into the database or deletes a record, that triggers the Azure function, which again can use something like SignalR to update the front end with a notification. So you can be more dynamic. So you don't want to be polling from your front end, you want to be pushing to your front end, and SignalR is the best way to do it if it's not supported natively. So I see that Firebase probably has a better implementation there, which is great. Cool. So going back to Python. So people are saying Python is super popular and it's super fun. Do you want me on the side or here? I don't know. What's better for you guys? I'll stay down here because I'm smaller and can see more of my screen, which I think is better. Okay. Going back to, was I there? And then, yeah. So FastAPI, Microsoft Identity, which is the actual name of the library. And this library is pretty basic. It doesn't do much. There's not a lot of code there, and we'll just switch the code now. But I found that it does exactly what I need to do. It does token validation. It makes sure that the token came from the right authority, and it checks that the token has not expired and it's within the appropriate parameters. And then inside the API, I can also check for scopes. So if my incoming token does not contain the right scopes, I can return a 403. Let's look at that code, and then we're actually going to build a small example using an existing API. We don't want to rebuild the APIs from scratch, and then we will add authentication there just to show you how easy it is with this library. Right. Obviously, I have to change all that. I need to improve this. As you can see, there's nothing there, but I was pushing it yesterday just to make sure that it works. So if I switch to my code, there, this is the library. There's a setup tool that allows you to bootstrap your libraries. Like if you're in .NET and you create a class CS Proj, then my favorite language is the one I don't use in production. Well, Fuel Snubble, are you having lots of pet projects that you're working on your spare time and you're using your favorite language? That's still a valid scenario. And there are a couple of files that you need to set up. One of them is the setup.py, which is the most important one because it has all the information for your API, who published it, what is the actual name, some descriptions, whether you want to use an RST or a Markdown file for everything. And then some compatibility features here, like which language is supported. As you can see, we support 3, and then probably the later versions of 3.7, 3.8, and 3.9. Then the requirements.txt is the one that brings the dependencies down with your library. So if you are in Nodeland, that will be your NPM packages that need to be pulled in so your library works. And in .NET is exactly the same thing. Which NuGet packages do you need in your code to make your code work? And then the actual code, it's a one-pager, a la minified APIs or minimal APIs in .NET. You'll see this in .NET more and more as we take all the boilerplate code out and we leave just the basic code. So here, we're just gonna walk through this. Let me just hide that to make this bigger. We have a couple of methods to define this. We have an initialize method that takes the client ID and the tenant ID, so we know how to authenticate. Trying to upgrade. So Fuel Snapper is saying 100 upgrade 100 plus Git repos from Python 2.7 to Python 3 plus can be enough of Python problems for a lifetime for me. That's a lot of work, my friend. I get it. And if I know enough, then I know that from 2 to 3 there were breaking APIs and breaking changes. So that will be some work for you. I feel you. It pays my mortgage though. Well, there you go, man. I mean, as long as you pay the bills, then I think that's good. That's what we want. We want to pay the bills and be able to support our life. And then from there on, you can go and do whatever fun projects you want to do, right? There you go. So yeah, I'm fairly new into the Python land. So for me, it was learning as I go and then having fun with it. So the initialize one needs to be called before you actually use this library, because we need to know how and where we're going to authenticate you with. We define a class called authError. This is for capturing errors and then bubbling them up in the stack. And then we have the get token auth header. So it looks into your header for incoming tokens, and then it looks at that. If there are any issues, then it will return the appropriate error message. I've tried to keep it consistent with the error message that we dumped from MSAL. So there it is. And by the way, MSAL would not work here because MSAL is a token acquisition and token management library, not a token validation library. At least for Python, it doesn't any validation. It does for .NET. We are not consistent in how we use MSAL. So I would like to apologize to our audience for the confusion. So with this library, we're doing exactly that. We're just validating the token. And then we have a validate scope, which looks into the token and tries to validate that there's an expected scope there. And then if that scope is not available, it will return an error message. Now the funky bit is in the requires auth, which is a function wrapper, almost like an attribute in .NET where you can assign or you can add it to a function, and then that function will actually execute this as part of middleware. So before you actually execute the function, it will execute this specific function, which is called requires auth. And here, it goes and does all the magic stuff like going into Azure Active Directory, grabbing the keys, checking that we have the right, that the header has been encrypted properly from the right authority. And then it also looks at different versions of the token, because if you are working with Azure Active Directory, we have V1 and V2 tokens and have different kind of structure and different information, also different issuers. So from there, I have a different function for each token version to go and decode and validate that the token came from the right authority. And then JWT2, and that's it. Like, it's not a lot of code, but it does the job. And with that, it becomes super simple to build security in your APIs. So now we're gonna grab a FastAPI project and then assign security to it. How does that sound? And again, if my Python skills are not up to scratch, then we'll build it together, because I'm new to Python. So let me hide this out, and then let's go and grab the project I was looking at. So This is the Talk Python is the company we're working with, or it's an organization that you can go. They have a fantastic podcast run by Michael Kennedy, and they also have learning courses there. So Talk Python is both a community Python thing that they talk about Python and new things in the podcast, but they also have courses that you can go and learn about different parts of Python: Flask, FastAPI, security, which we're building, websites, and what have you. So they have source code available to you. This is all available for you in GitHub if you want to go. And then we're gonna grab this one, download it, and then add some code. So let's do that. Let's grab the URL. Let's open the terminal. Let's, I know you can't see my terminal, so it's fine. I'm just gonna bring it up here. There you go. And then in my projects, I'm going to do Git Clone. In fact, did you know they can actually use the GitHub CLI to do that as well? I think it's GitHub repo get or something. What is it? GitHub Clone. Ha! Haven't tried this one. Should we try this? Should we try the GitHub CLI and see what happens? GitHub repo clone. What does it want? What does it want? How does this work? GitHub clone. Did I not say? Oh, I need to do dash-help. Fine. What is it? If the owner's portion, clone GitHub locally. Git clone flags listing after them. Pass additional GitHub. Okay, repository directory. So I suspect that we can pass directory name. So if I do that, oh, that's a lot. And then say modern, you know what? I'm gonna leave it like this. Oh, that was fast. That was fast, wasn't it? So cd modern, like, we're in. And then here they have chapters. So ls, you see they have multiple chapters. We don't want to go to the beginning. We're going to go to chapter 8 because that's the final API. So let's go and open this one. cd chapter 8, 08. And ls, we have everything we want. So here we want to open it. Cool. Pum, pa-da-dum, pum, pum. I'm looking up now because my monitor is up. I don't know, does it look weird? Okay, Python. Let's see what we have here. Let's start with the requirements. So these are all the libraries that we want. If you never worked with Python before, this is where we declare all our dependencies. And it's nice because we can use pip or pipe install, and then it will go and run the requirements file if we pass it, and then we'll download all the dependencies. Settings, there's a settings file. It says, oh, you need to pass your API key from openweathermap.org. We'll do that. And then action, copy this into settings.json because it is expected by the Python library. And the main.py or main.py is where we bootstrap everything. That's like the program.cs in .NET. Or the index.js in your node, that this is like the entry point for your application. This one is bootstrapping a few things, like the Open Weather service. There are some services in here, and this is where we're actually going to bootstrap our .NET code. No, our library, so we can use it. Yeah, and then. It actually looks in the settings.json, which is great, and then it just pulls the information out. So if you don't have settings.json, it will actually crash. So you need to have that. And then from there, it just serves the local endpoints. And I think under API, we have the weather API. So this is where the magic happens, and we want to secure this one. So we want every time that somebody does API weather city, for us to say, well, you can't come in here unless you have authenticated, or as long as you've got an access token to do this. So yeah, this is where we're gonna do the magic stuff. Now I'm going to take a very quick break because my teeth are floating and I'm solo and I've been talking for the last 51 minutes nonstop. And I appreciate you all lovely folks for being here with me. I'll be 2 minutes and then I'll be back. Grab a fresh cup of coffee, grab some water, go for your nature calls, and I will see you very, very, very soon. And then we'll start coding for the second part of the show. Yo, what's up? We're back. That was a quick break. I also got the chance to say goodbye to the kids as they were leaving for school, which is great. Win-win situation. Perfect timing, in other words. So yeah, if you're just joining us, we are going to secure a FastAPI, which is a Python framework for building APIs with Azure Active Directory. And we have a library. Let's go back to our library very, very quickly for people that are very new to the stream, or just a quick recap. No, that's not what I want to do. The code, where is it? Here, is it here? Oh, too many windows. Here, there, that's our library. We're gonna be using a FastAPI Microsoft Identity, which is a library we just pushed out, and I'm hoping to get some adoption as we're talking about fast APIs and Python, and people are looking at how to secure their stuff. So with this library, we're going to secure API. And this API is pretty basic. It doesn't do lots of stuff. It is here. Have we changed anything? Oh yeah, I've changed the spacing. OCD with that, right? Sorry, I don't understand why there's two spaces there. I like it like this. More. Is it a Python thing? Is the Python thing like dunders? Double unders. I found out that dunders are double unders. See, I'm that new to Python. It's like, what is a dunder? Okay. More spaces. Anyway, okay. First, we need to make this thing run. Just make sure that it works. So for that to work, we need requirements.txt. We need to run that. We also need a settings.json. So we need to copy that. Or actually, we can copy this. Copy. And then we can do a paste. We'll do that paste. Where? No, that's the wrong place. Yeah, it doesn't like it here. Yes. Cancel. Fine. Rename first. Rename to settings.json. If we put app settings.json, that would be .NET app settings, which I've been messing around for so long these days. Yes, I want to move it there. Thank you. So settings.json. Now we need the API key for openweather.map. So for that to work, I need to get my key. If you don't have an openweather.map API key, then you can get one. Obviously, I'm not going to show it to you, but it's a free API. It's an open API. It's actually good for testing because it has ready-made data. I don't know, what do you use for testing? I think there are a few APIs out there that are good for testing API to API calls, or creating a dependency to an external service that is free and available to you. So open weather. Excuse me, see, it's already there. Don't know if it remembers me signed in. I sign in. And oh my God, that's a small password. So under here, there's API keys. Now I'm not gonna do that live on the stream and expose myself. So I will find my API keys. I will copy it. This thing doesn't have a copy, so I'll copy that. And then here in my code, sorry folks, I will need to hide it. Don't want you to see my sensitive information. Although, you know what? I will need to show it at some point because we will be doing changes there for, what do you mean, oh, fuel snubble? Why, do you want to expose my API key so you can go and call my weather API and use my free credits? That's unfair. Go and get your own key. It's free. It's like, it's not paid for. But then again, if you do all the calls, doxing is a fine 4-5 tradition. I know. I think I can roll out my key. Let me see if I can roll my key. Generate. You can generate as many API keys as you need in your subscription, and I can delete that. Let's see. Default. I want to make sure I can delete my old API key so you don't use it. Edit. I can only edit the key. Can I generate? Oh, okay. So let's do. I'll do one for the stream. Oh, wait, stream. Ah, there you go. Oh, you know what? I can delete the other. Oh, now that I have two keys, I can delete the other one. Okay, you know what? I'm going to use one for the stream and then I'm going to delete it. So don't you dare use that key. And if you do, I'll know who you are and I'll come and find you. No, I won't. Right. There you go. That's the key over there. We'll need to add a few things here anyway, but for now, we need to keep it as it is. Now you'll notice that this won't run yet because we haven't done any of the necessary commands. So clear there. And now we need to call Python mvenv.venv. That is for setting up our Python to with a virtual environment. Dun, 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 dun. Will it work? Will it work? It's slow. Oh, okay. Let's make sure that this has happened. So nothing here yet. Oh, there you go. That's the venv over there. Now we need to activate this. So for that is .venv scripts activate ps1. Since I'm using PowerShell here, that's done. And now we need to pip install -r and then requirements.txt. This will do a .NET restore if you're in .NET, and will be also npm install if you are in Node land. Is that the right thing to say? Node land? What? What does it say? Scripts Python, local temp, traceback string, what? UV loop does not support Windows at the time. Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember coming across this one before. I think there's an extra package here that we don't need, which is UV loop. This one. I don't think we need this one. That's fine. Okay, so let's run it again and see what happens. What? There. Run pip install again. Just run in WSL. Love me some WSL. Yeah, you can do that. You're absolutely right. You could run in WSL. Now, because PIP needs to be updated, we need to do that. So let's update PIP. And then there, updating that. Going to the latest version. Okay, so we have 21.2.4. So now we have venv activated and we have everything installed. What we need to do next is just to, what is that we need to do? Oh yeah, in here, as you can see, this one is using the wrong interpreter. So we need browse, and then in here we need to go here, and then scripts, and then Python, select. So that should be the right one. Have you created a venv? I have, yes, I have indeed. There it is over here. Did you not see that? Was it going too fast? Right. So technically, that's all we need to do to run it. And there are two ways to run Python. And as we saw, there's a new version now for, oh, look at that. Debug Python file in terminal and run Python file in terminal. What do we want to do? Well, let's do a run. Because I'm confident that things will work. Will they? My confidence, right? It's running. Okay. 127.0.0.0.1, localhost 8000. Yeah. What am I doing? Dev Tony Stark. Dev Tony Stark. That's a cool name, my friend. We are actually working with Python FastAPIs today. And right now we're making sure that our API is running before we add authentication to it. So once we confirm that I can make a call, then we're going to add a library that does token validation and scope validation in our API and authenticates against Azure AD, and it is all secure. So with that, we are now ready to test it. So for that, I usually use, Thunder client. Thunder client. Oh. Right, let me make this smaller. I watched Thundercats the other day with my kids. They did not like it a bit. I don't know why, but they were like, "No, that's no good. We don't like it." Auth. I need to none. Okay. So right now we're running, and if I call this, it should come back with some results. I Unauthorized. What? No, obviously. What? Why is it unauthorized? Grandpa show. It was a grandpa show. What the hell? Why am I getting unauthorized on this one? You know what? Am I running that API somewhere else and it's calling that API? No, obviously I wouldn't be able to bind the same API, would I? Wait, is that a different port? Let me go back. Let me make this bigger. I wonder if I bound to a different port because I've got something else running on 8000. Run it. It does say 8000. Now I am confused. Seems it's trying to call a different endpoint or this endpoint. I think the window is too zoomed in. Okay, I can zoom out. That's good to know. Yeah, Thundercats was apparently... is that better? Yeah, so let's localhost send. Invalid API key. Oh, what? I'm getting a 401 back from Open Weather API. Okay, so I was like, I haven't added authentication yet. Why the hell am I getting a 401 from my API? Okay, Open Weather API, invalid key. Did I saved that, right? Yes, let me make sure that I have the right key here. So it didn't like my key here. I wonder if, did I? Nope. I'll just paste this one again. So, is that different? Okay, let's stop and run again and see what happens. And where's my Thunder client, Thunder client, which I have here, send. Huh. Doesn't like this API key. Interesting. Did I fail to do something? I mean, if I didn't have the API key, it would not start because settings to JSON was not there, and then it would break. So I should copy this. Code, COD. What is that? Fuel snubble. Yep. Just make sure that this one is being parsed. Like if I didn't have that one, it will throw an error message. API key. That's the name of the key. API key. You know, I can try with the other key and see what happens. Because I know that the other key works. Starting snipping tool. Set code. I was expected code. Okay, let me see. Let's run again. Ah, it's the key. Interesting. Why do I not like my other key? I don't know. I will have to delete that key now. But hey, the code is working now. We know it's working, so it's nothing that I did wrong other than the key not working. That's super weird. Okay, well, we have a working solution now, and now we need to add identity because we don't want anyone to willy-nilly call our API and use our quota. Although you all have my keys now, so you can go and call the API and it will be forever burned into the stream. But I'm going to roll my keys later and break my access to Open API. Right, so the API is working, which is good. Now, what do we need to do to add identity? Well, first and foremost, we need to go and update our requirements.txt with FastAPI dash Microsoft-identity. Save this, and then let's run the setting is getting. Well, if you're making money at the back of my open API, Fuel Snubble, I want to cut, right? That's the deal. It goes both ways. Setting is caring. And I hope that this is all visible to everyone and it's not super zoomed in because Dev Tony Stark said it was too zoomed in. So I appreciate the feedback. Now here we need to do pip install -r and then requirements. If I could do that. And it will go and find the, what? Could not find a version that satisfies the requirement fast Microsoft identity. Ooh. From versions none. Do I need to pass a version? Do I need to pass a version? Microsoft API. Huh. Interesting. Well, I did it yesterday. What is it? I was testing it yesterday and it was working, so I don't know what is different today. Interesting. Now, why would that not work? What does it say? Could not find a version that satisfies the requirement FastAPI identity from versions none. Because I am a Muppet. You guys are not paying attention here. You're not paying attention. I'm so disappointed by you now. Well, although I have mortgages I'm willing to share. No, it's the other way around. You make money, you help me out. Especially if you're using my keys, you know? Right, okay, so that should actually install everything we need. Cool, we have that. And in order for us to be able to authenticate against that API, we need to have an API configuration in Azure Active Directory. So let's go and do that. Where do I get my, there, okay, let's do a new tab. Let's come here. If you don't have an Azure Active Directory to play with, then rest assured that you can find one or you can create one. It's yes. Thank you, Sempos. I missed the API. So I was bad mouthing you for no reason. The Microsoft developer crew are more tuned today. Just letting you know, 4 to 5 show friends, that the Microsoft developer peeps were faster to find what was wrong. Thank you, Sempos. Kudos. Right, Azure Active Directory. If you don't have one, you can get one for free at the Microsoft 365 developer program platform. Or you can use ak.ms 425 so dev. So let's do that there. ak.ms 425 so dev. You get a full P1, ak.ms 425. So just typing in both places. So dev and you get a full-blown P1 Azure Active Directory with some test data to play with, which is great because it allows you to do all the things that we do here without having a dependency on your Azure Active Directory at your company, and you can be a lot more flexible with your permissions. So ad.portal.azure.com. I'll go to my test tenant. Obviously, I sign in with my right name, which is with the right account, which is not there. So now I need to and then I need to find my password, which is super long and super weird. I don't know what it is, and I shouldn't know what it is, which is great. Sign in. And here we're going to make it smaller, right? Because you guys can see this now. Go to Azure Active Directory. And then from there, I need to go to my app registrations. And too much. And then somewhere in here I have a FastAPI. There you go. I'm gonna reuse this one because there's no point of creating a new one. We're just doing a demo here. So we need the client ID and we need the tenant ID, if you remember correctly. Now let's see also what is in the expose API. I have two permissions. One is whether write, and then one is whether read. So here, we're just gonna use the whether read because we're only reading data, we're not writing any data back. But you can have multiple permissions here. So for my overview, I think, what does my library need? Let's go back and look at the expected values. I think it's a client ID and a tenant ID. So in our settings to JSON, we're going to add a client ID and put the value here. And then we need a tenant ID. Which is, if JP was here, he would probably know his tenant ID by heart. I don't. I think you can also use your tenant name if you want to, but I haven't tested the library with a tenant name. That's something I need to put in my to-dos. So that's what we need here for settings. Then inside our main pie, is the tenant ID public? Yes, it is not a secret. It's not something that is sensitive. You can share. Client IDs and tenant IDs are absolutely fine to share with. They don't need to be hidden. So here, let me just make this smaller. So here we are pulling, we need to import, okay, from FastAPI, from FastAPI Microsoft Identity. We want to import, I think initialize, yes. Oh, if you don't know where these are coming from, and obviously I will need to update my library with that, but I think it's here. FastAPI auth service here. So in here, in the files, under init, the auth service exposes the initialize, the author, which is the library, initialize the validate scope and requires auth. So we need to call initialize first because the service expects the initialization to happen before we can do anything else. So first the tenant ID and then the client ID. Cool. So initialize, and then in here we want to say define method configure underscore auth, and then we want to say initialize, and then we want to pass, we need to get a tenant ID and the tenant ID. So here we need to do tenant ID equals settings.get. Hard-coded magic string here for our tenant ID, which is fine, I guess. Is there a better way to do it in Python? In most cases where you enter the tenant ID, you can also enter any of the validated names. Yeah, I suspect that we can do that. As I said, I just haven't tested it yet, so it will be something that I need to test and validate with my library because I wrote this thing. I'm pretty sure there will be plenty of bugs in there. And client ID equals settings.get. And then, but thanks SV Rouge coming to the rescue once again. Do you mind setting the name of the slick VS Code color theme? That purple accent is awesome. Sure I can. No Shift P, theme, if I can type. And then I'm using the bearded theme with amethyst. So it's black with amethyst. You can change it to different accents if you want. But I like this one. It's not too bright, not too annoying. So thanks for asking. Yeah. So client ID. Make sure we add the ID there, otherwise it will just blow. Yeah, I usually we have a bang theme on the 45 channel theme, but it talks about JP's theme, which is ThinkWave 84, which is so 84, by the way. I don't know, what do you guys think? I think his theme is a little bit too flashy. Too old. He needs a new theme. He needs to change things up. I also had a couple of other themes that I really liked, and then Somehow I set them up on one of my machines and then I moved to another machine. And then VS Code said, do you want to sync your settings from the other machine? I was like, yeah, okay, overwrite. And then it overrode my settings, which took out quite a few things. And I lost those awesome themes. And now I need to go back and search. This theme does not have glow effects. Exactly, it doesn't glow. Synthwave, synthwave for life. Ah, I see. How much money did JP pay you if you'll snabble to say that? Or are you using the same theme and you need to be supportive of his choices and your choices? I'm just kidding. Hey, use whatever theme works for you, but I find this one works well with my beard and works well with my code. Sorry, going on a tandem about these things. So client ID and tenant ID, we need to pass them into our config. And if I remember correctly, I think I need to pass them here. What? Uh-oh, somebody's going to say something now. Somebody's going to say something now. I do appreciate the use of purple. See? Purple, pink, it's the theme, man. So how should we do it? You know what? I'm gonna do tenant ID and client underscore ID, and then initialize with tenant ID. No, that's that. And client ID. Client ID. I was just about to press the semicolon. This is not .NET. I know. So configure auth here, and then we're just gonna pass these things. So rather than creating variables and passing them around, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Space. I need to close this. Can I do that in Python, or will people be extremely upset because it's not Python-esque? Any Python? If you'll snabble, you do Python. Do people get upset if I do this? It's like JavaScripty, right? JavaScript with Python, how about that? Okay, so we initialize we configure our auth. So we have the settings that we need to get everything working. So next, we need to go into our API and configure the authentication, weather service. So here, as we said, remember, we don't want people to come in and query our stuff without actually having the right permissions. So from FastAPI, Microsoft Identity, we want to import. Does it say what I can import? Requires auth, error, and then validate scope. Wow, I remember them without remembering what I put there. Okay. So these are the three methods that we need to pass. I think we also need the scope somewhere. Scope. Where should we put the scope? We need to validate the scope. I mean, we can put it in here. If it runs, it's Python-esque to me. I like the low bar of Python, man. You just write it, and as long as it runs, it's Python. That's what Phil Snabble is saying, which is great. That's interesting. Huh. Okay, I didn't think about it like that, Okay. So here's, I guess, we'll just put the required scope somewhere like that. Required scope, and then we'll say is weather.read, right? Weather.read. Okay, seems like it's good. And then here, I think I need to put requires auth. Do I need anything in my requires auth? Just because I wrote doesn't mean I remember, right? Requires auth, I think. Validate scope, requires auth. Async decorated args. I don't think it requires anything there, so it doesn't take anything, just it's an attribute. Using settings.getKey without a default as a second argument is not ideal, because if that key is missing, it will return none, and it can silently do what you did not expect. Settings keys, on the other hand, will scream at you if something is wrong or missing. Oh, interesting. So should we go back and fix it? Like this? Let me see. Oh, this is the library. Don't mess with the library. So what you're saying, in other words, is if I go back to my main and rather than doing this, we do settings dot like this, and then we pass it the tenant ID, right? Make it blow up. I also like the fact that it's more discrete and less code. Settings. So if they're missing, it's just gonna blow. Samples, is that it? Blow. It's gonna throw an exception. Right, okay. There you go, I'm learning with you guys. Thank you so much. That's greatly appreciated. It's also more concise. I like it. So that is there. Then in here we have the requires auth, which I don't think we need to pass anything else, if I remember correctly. This is all we need to pass in. And then in here, what I want to do is obviously remove that one because it was like testing stuff. What? No, what am I doing? No, not the reports. Chris, what are you doing? Obviously, I mean, we might want to do that in the future for reports as well, but for now we're only interested in this. You can't get the weather information unless you tell me they have a thing. So in here we do that. And then we need to validate the scope, because that's the method, right? We said we're going to validate the scope, and then if there is an issue, we throw an error message. So here we'll do validate scope, and then it takes a scope, and then it takes a request. Ooh. Ah, yeah, I know. That request is exposed here. So request, or is uppercase, I can't remember. Request. Because we need to have access to the request pipeline or middleware, otherwise it will not work. I need to import it, I think. Add from FastAPI requests. I think that's the one I need. Import requests. Or is it request here? And I think this can go. And then, yeah, wrong object there. Request. So this request, which will be passed into the validate scope, is that request. And then here I need to say required scope. Required scope. And then I'll pass the requests. Now, if this doesn't work, it will blow. It will return an auth error. So we need to capture that as an auth error down here. So that's fine. Just leave it there. And then here, accept auth error. That's why we imported it as auth error. And then we just need to return it. Return fast API.response, I think. What is it below? Ah, there you go. Copy paste. The way of the future. AE, then AE. Why do I have an auth error? I think it's the same, right? Status code and content. So this will actually return a 401 or a 403 depending on how we screwed up. You know what? I think that's all we need. Let's save this bad boy and then let's run it. Just double checking that we have everything. Required scope. Is there anything that we haven't? Why is that complaining? We'll close the settings. We don't need that anymore. We'll need this one in a bit. That's I can close. Weather API is done. So first, we're gonna test it without actually authenticating, and then we're gonna see what happens once we authenticate. Right? So let's run it. back to main and run. It's running. Let's call it. Which city? Give me a city. Where are you guys from? Let's try something else. Portland is just an example, but you want to give me a city so we can try it? Let's do Thessaloniki because that's my hometown. And we had somebody from Thessaloniki watching us before, so let's see. See, 401 unauthorized, which is great. Philadelphia, you got it. Obviously, we're not going to see any data now because Philadelphia. You can see we're not authenticated. We don't have an access token. So let's go and get an access token for that. Auth. Let's go into auth. Let's go there. We have an expired token. Now this token, this client ID, let's go back into our Azure Active Directory. And I did a blog post yesterday about how to use Postman with API, secure APIs through Azure Active Directory. So if you haven't seen that blog post, dev.to45. So if you are calling an API with Postman, then there are some settings that you need to do. And the first thing that you have to go and do, obviously, is creating an app registration for your client. So we have the app registration for our API, which is used by the API to validate incoming calls. But we also need an app registration in Azure Active Directory to acquire an access token so we can call our API. And this is what the FastAPI client, I think that's the name of my, FastAPI client. So here we have an API that has the appropriate settings. In effect, it says authenticate me. Let's just make sure that we have the right authentication. And it is configured for Thunder Client. If you are using Postman, then it's a different URL. My blog post explains, our blog post, it's on the 45 show, explains what and how you need to set it up. So for Postman, there's a different setting. It is, did I do my auth yet? Have I done auth? Yes, add platform here. And then, did I? Yeah, that's the URL that you need to put for Postman. Now, auth client has a different URL because it expects the authentication to happen somewhere else. So here, the redirect URI, callback URL is this. So that needs to match your app registration. And then 6A37, is that the right app registration? Let's go and find out. Is this the right app registration? Overview. 6A37, it is. So all we need to do now is grab the latest token. And then I think in here I had API blah scope. Where's my scope? Weather.read. That's the expected scope. So now I can go and grab a token. It will ask me to sign in. Signing in. Success. Close the tab. Which is good. Positive news. That has the right token here. And now I can make the call with that same token. Property object does not have the attribute get. What? Using like Postman. Yeah, it is an extension. Thunder Client, it is an extension. Yeah, it is exactly like Postman. But now I got the 500 error message. What? What did I miss? Did we do something wrong here? I wonder if this is blown. So for now, just going back to what I know, and then we'll fix this if it is not the case. Settings.get tenant settings it is. Oh, tenant ID. I'm just changing this because that. Oh yeah, it needs to be a string. That was working for me yesterday. So settings.get and client ID. Yes, Admiral Kier. It is great because Fast Client is an extension, which means it's everywhere with you and you don't have to install anything like Postman if you're working on a different machine and you don't have it. It's just an extension that sits there. And I like it because it supports quite a few things. They even added support for HTTP2, and they were even talking about adding support for proxy for HTTP2, which is great. These guys are really bang on. And I like it because it's lightweight and does exactly what I need. So if you haven't tested it yet, then I would recommend that you do it. So let's stop this one. Let's start it again. And I'm going to make the same call now and see, oh, what? Right, okay, so something is blowing here. I don't know what is blowing, so let's see. Oh, settings.get says get. It is a weird error message. Okay, let's stop this one, let's debug. Let's debug. Apparently you can do this and debug Python file in terminal. Will that work? Ooh, what does that do? Terminal, it doesn't know how to do it, okay. Oh, starting. Oh, can we put a breakpoint? Like, can I put a breakpoint? Required scope request. Here. Will that work? Let's find out. Let's find out. Nice. Okay. Required scope. Got that. Now the auth has passed, so I think it's the, is it the validate scope that's failing? It is the validate scope. Huh. Ah. I think I know what it is. That should be fine. I'm passing the actual object instead of the instance. Okay. That was second mistake for me. So let's do a simple run. What? No, I didn't want to do that. That's already activated. No, I didn't want to debug. What? Oh yeah, I'm in the wrong place, so obviously this is not gonna run. But also I didn't want to rerun, so let's stop this one. And let's change to run Python in file, but not there. We want to run this in the main py. So run Python in file. I love the fact that you can select it. I also like the fact that it can run a debug without actually creating a launch.json. That's interesting, isn't it? Right, so it's running, and we have a valid token for an hour, so let's run it. Oh, boom! It's working. Yes! Okay. Any other cities that you want to check? Philadelphia. So right now the temperature is 22 degrees, but it feels like 21 degrees Celsius. Sorry. This one is all about Celsius. But you can change the settings, I think, to Fahrenheit if you want to. So Philadelphia, let's do Thessaloniki, which I think is going to be in the 30s. So 22 degrees, like 72 or 75 degrees. Thessaloniki is 404, city not found. What? Thessaloniki was not found. Do we need to pass Greece? Yes. 25 degrees only? That's weird. Oh yeah, because it's the afternoon, it's September, so it's probably expected to have crappy weather. So let's see. Thessaloniki weather. It's not like I don't trust the Open API. 77 degrees. So yeah, it feels like a 25 kind of a day in Thessaloniki, if that's 25. 83 though, they had a nice warm day. And tomorrow's 82 and rain. Ha! They should move to Seattle. It never rains. In fact, it hasn't rained in a long time, so I shouldn't be jinxing it. But yeah, that it is. That works. Now, what will happen if we, let's see, should we get a 403 if we get their own token for their own scope? We should, right? That's the whole point. It never rains. Quotes. It's be careful what you wish for. I think we're gonna have nice weather until next Wednesday, and then it's just downhill from there. So if we change this to right, remember that's a scope that we defined in our API, I can actually go and get a token. It will sign in. Doesn't ask me for. Yes, I haven't consented to that permission yet. Okay, fine. Okay, so now we have a token for a different scope. And if we call our API with that scope, we should get a 403. It's the moment of truth. Shit. That's not good. Oops, did I say that loud? That should not have been the case. So let's make sure that we have the right token there. Wow. No, don't want a new one. I want an instance of my other ones. So ak.ms. Sorry, jwt.ms. So maybe my validate scope does not work. Oh, I think I grabbed something too many, or not the whole thing. What? Come on. I think it's not grabbing the whole token from here. Huh. It just doesn't scroll properly. I'm not doing that. What? Magic. Now, why did this work? Header, application, cookies, test. No, I don't want tests. That should have been. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. That's definitely not good. Seems like my library doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So let's stop this. And then let's debug it. I was in the wrong. Fine. Yeah, you need to be in the right file. Okay. Just want to make sure that the incoming token has the wrong permission. And then see why it is not throwing a 403. Validate, scope, required scope, weather.read. And then let's do the call, send. Okay, required scope is there. Request, auth. Somewhere in here, there's is it headers? I think it's headers. Yes, the headers. And raw maybe. Authorization bearer. Yeah, that's the one. How do I get access to it? Oh, there you go. Can I copy this? Nope. Nope. Can't even copy this. What? Oh, come on. I mean, we can always... case in point, 2008, I thought the world was a bit boring and I wanted it to be more interesting. Right after that, there was Russia-Georgia conflict with... Yeah. I didn't wish for a war. Come on, man. I just said that the weather is a little bit, meh. It's okay. I was just taking a stab at Greece because they're supposed to have always nice weather, especially around this time of the year. So, interestingly enough, the request does that validate scope. Will I even... Yeah, it doesn't... Like this one should throw. What does my library do? Let's see. I mean, we have access to the source, right? Auth service. So validate scope has valid scope. Get token auth header. Yeah, it gets the claims. Cool. Scope. If token scope equals required scope has valid scope, sure. If not has valid scope, The scope or scope claim does not contain scopes or was not found. Yeah, it should raise an auth error. But I just want to make sure that the yeah, I don't want to, what was that? Was that my oh no, it wasn't. So here the request comes in and it has the auth header. Scope. Oh, the scope of the call, not the scope of the FastAPI, okay. So that was the scope of the request address. So what we're trying to figure out now is why the fact that we passed the wrong scope is not throwing a 403. It's in the headers. Sorry, it's in the headers. I know. Headers. Raw. Can I use the debug console? Like, can I do request? Okay, request.headers. Okay. Oh, look at that. We got the token. And that's the beginning. The EY reminds me of the, it feels like Azure AD-ish, but I can't get it. So what we want to do is it's request.headers. Is it dot authorization? Will we dump the object? Yeah. So header has no attribute. How about this? Authorization. Will it index it as an array? Ha! Gotcha. Then we need to copy this bad boy over here. And then go to jwt.ms. No, come on. I don't want more browsers. I want jw.ms. Like that, and then paste this. Okay, now we're cooking. Oh, I see. He had both. Snipping it. Again? What's with you and snipping today, Phil Snubble? Okay, so the reason why I didn't throw a 403 is because it had both. But I thought I changed it. I thought I changed the token to only have, oh, you know what? Maybe I had both. Maybe I need to go back and, yeah, sorry, let's run this. That's fine. So it comes back. It never leaves the browser unless you're recording it. Ah. Yeah. Snipping. Thank you. That kind of snipping. Okay. Gotcha now. So I need to, grab the API permission. So in API permissions, that's the client. I want the API, expose an API, and I want the read. No, we'll use the right one because I want to throw the 403 for this one. Right? Only this. We don't want multiple. I think I was testing for multiple yesterday, and maybe that's why it was still there. Only one. No more. Generate token. Yes. Success. Cool. Now, should add that warning. Yeah. Okay. Will do. We'll add the warning. Now if I send the, oh no, I forgot I was debugging. Throw it. There is something iffy with my token, absolutely. Because I'm telling you, maybe stop and restart. So this now has the, I only requested for one API. Maybe it's the client. Maybe Thunder client is just messing with me. I'll delete this one. So I will generate the token again. Restart the API. and test it. And that will take us to the end of the stream. Success. Good. Right here. I remember I was able to grab the token. I don't know why it doesn't let me grab the token, but you know what? My trusty notepad will save the day because I'm pretty sure it has a dot in the end. No, it doesn't. It's definitely truncated. Yeah, it doesn't show the full token. That's why. Okay, let's run this bad boy and see what happens. No need to debug because I'm confident. My watch is saying, you've been sitting for too long. I know, I'm streaming. Maybe I should get up and do some jumping jacks. What? Why? Why does my token contain both permissions? It shouldn't. Like, we're gonna validate this, but do I have something in here that is like persisted? That's weird. You know what? Fine, Postman. You forced my hand to it. I don't know, maybe Thunder Client has a bit of a bug, something that it's, it's persisting stuff that it shouldn't be. So let's bring Postman up here. Man, that's a big window. Let's make it smaller. Yeah, so as soon as I move it up here, there, I want to make it smaller. Okay. So now we're gonna do an ad hoc, can see thing here. Stop. Where's my URL? Yeah, no, it's not hook. Am I right? Hide. Okay, cool. Where's my URL here? Okay. Here, fine. So it will be HTTP localhost 8000, right? Running at localhost 8000, HTTP localhost. Obviously, we need that. Localhost so 8000, and then it's API, then it is weather, and then it's Philadelphia. So if we call that now, we say 401. Yeah, 401, which is good. So now we are going to add authorization, and we need to go with OAuth 2, and we need to say I want to use, definitely not this. This is the wrong endpoint. And we also want to use that, and then we'll do this. So let's go back to our app registration. And inside here, and in our client, we will add, in authentication, we'll add this there. It's a web app. And then we will save this. And then we need a secret. Let's dox ourselves. We'll make it valid from today to tomorrow. Because I know I can't trust you. Add. Copy. And we'll fix the URIs later. There. Now I need to go and get my endpoints. Overview, endpoints. Let's grab the auth endpoint, which is this. And let's go and grab, in fact, I can cheat and do that. Then come down here and cheat and do this. Because they will be the same. It's just the endpoint. And then we just need to change the client ID. Close this, client ID. Client ID is down here. Oh, we need to change the API. The API permission, FastAPI, exposing API. I want the, is that the read or the write? That's the write. Yeah, that's the one I want. I want a 403. Where's my 403? Oh, thank you for following whoever followed. I don't see the names. So I apologize for that, but we will fix it. No, we're not getting the Cosmos data. So we got the client ID, we got the client secret, we got the scope. Let's put some nonsense there. And then, am I missing anything? Just rename that to, what should we name it? Fast, no, yeah, Fast API token. And then let's grab our token. Check this out. New way for authenticating via the system browser. Open. Make sure you have your stuff. You need to make sure that you enable pop-ups. Proceeds. That's our token. Now let's make sure that we only got the. That's again. I'm telling you, this is super weird. In our JW2MS, let me paste that. What the? Interesting. So it's definitely not the client. It is the way I've got things wired up. So it gets both because they're both in the same resource. Even though I only request for one, it gives me both. I am confused. Okay, then that's not going to work either. So the only way to make it work is to, rather than do this, which is just be messing with my brain, let's go and change the code here. And I need to find out why I'm getting, that 2S done. And this is still running. Okay, stop and run. So if you can't change the one, you can change the other. Oh, what? What's the error message? Yeah, obviously. Oh, why did I close that down? Sorry, it's fine. There, running, call it 403. There you go. Now, if you don't have the right scope, it will definitely throw a 403. But I don't know. Should we be exposing this? Like, I was expecting a scope of blah, but I didn't have the right scope. Maybe that's a security vulnerability, saying which kind of scopes you need to get. But at the same time, it's helpful because if I'm missing a scope, it will help me with what I need. Anyway, we confirmed that this library is working and does exactly what it's supposed to be doing. So just to quick recap, we have a new library out there which is for fast APIs. If you are building APIs with FastAPI in Python, the package is called FastAPI Microsoft Identity. It works with Azure Active Directory for now, and it allows you to validate incoming tokens and also validate incoming scopes. So, hey, Trooper, how are you, friend? We're just wrapping things up. Evening. I was driving solo today. Our very good friend JP is not feeling well today, so I decided to come on the stream and talk to you friends and show you how to build APIs. You're good. Cool. Ready for the weekend. No, it's fine. Don't be sorry for being late. I'm pretty sure everyone's busy, so not everyone has 2 hours to spend with me. But if you were able to spend 2 hours with me, I totally appreciate that. Yeah, I hope JP gets well soon, man. I know. At least he's got a long weekend ahead of him, so that will give him a little bit more time, but it's not easy. Hola, Zoro, Ashura. Zoro. Like it. Working late today and community center doing Wi-Fi upgrades. Oh, they are always fun. Do you at least get a chance to play with some cool equipment? Trooper? And Zoro, how are you? I hope everything is good. We're just wrapping things up here. Free time. Free time? It's just a matter of priorities. I know, man. I mean, I'm not a high priority. But I appreciate you guys coming here. Hey, Weasel42. Hello, hello. You guys are all chatty just at the end of the stream. TP-Link on Mata Wi-Fi, like Unify, but a bit cheaper. Okay. I give my time to community center out of hours. That's very noble of you, Trooper. I love it. I love it. Keep up the good work. I hope that people are appreciating the effort that you're putting into this one. Yeah, Zoro, what are you up to? What are you doing? Are you finishing your day? Are you starting your day? halfway through. Hey, something is more than nothing, as I say, Trooper. So no matter what you do, it's more than other people do, and I appreciate the fact that you're spending time with community. It's great. A new gigabit switch. Damn, Crystal is streaming. Sorry guys, this heart surgery has to go on without me. What are you talking about? It's a priority, you know? You can't miss your daily dosage of 45 so fuel snubble. Yeah. Why not stream the 4 to 5 show during heart surgery? So it's a win-win situation. Right? They have nice funky TVs in most surgeries these days. You can ask them, can you switch the channel please to the 4 to 5 show? You can get Wi-Fi in hospitals, but yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was fun building this FastAPI today. I mean, we didn't build a FastAPI. We got a ready-made API because that saved us time, and then we bolted on the Microsoft identity library on top of that, and we were able to authenticate against it, which was pretty straightforward. I think we spent more time trying to figure out why the 403 was not throwing. I'm also quite surprised that even though I only asked for one permission, it was returning both permissions. And I suspect that it is because once you consent, if it's the same resource, it will return all the consented permissions when you sign in, all the consented scopes, I guess. But I need to confirm that because I thought it was individual ones. Anyway, at least we figured that the mystery was not, or the issue was not Thunder client, which we're using to test. And Postman confirmed that it was exactly the same thing. So it was me not realizing it. Perhaps I can hook up some Microsoft HoloLens with a 45 so augmented reality. Yeah, that would be a whole new experience watching us in a HoloLens. Yeah, although I can't send them to you. I don't even get one myself. It's hard to do that. Anyway, I need to wrap things up. It's 10 o'clock. I hope you enjoyed this stream. There will be a blog post at the back of this to let you know how to do it, although I need to fix my library to make it a bit more readable and have some samples there. But if you are building APIs with FastAPI and Python, then this is the way to go. As you saw, it only took 2 lines of code and some configuration there to make it happen. No, man, it's fine. You can always catch up our stuff on YouTube. This will be available on YouTube. I'll probably clean up the first 45 minutes where we're just chatting about stuff and then just condense it to where we're building the code. And it doesn't matter. And we'll be back on Tuesday, hopefully, with JP as well. I hope he's feeling better. But we might have a shorter show because we're doing some recordings with the DevOps team on channel 9. You can actually make a hologram projector with IoT. Wow. Yeah. So many ideas. IoT stuff. And we'll be back on Tuesday as usual. Sorry we couldn't do the Thursday show, but with JP not feeling well, it would have been a boring show. I'm only the half of the team. So it was fun having you here. Thanks everyone for the comments. Thanks for participating. I hope you all have a nice weekend. If you get the chance to have a long weekend due to Labor Day on Monday, then take advantage of it. Don't work. Chill out with the family. Stay safe. And I will see you all. Can you recommend some API services which is updated? What? Can you recommend us some API service which is updated? We're able to watch at the weekend. Oh, wow. API services at the weekend. What do you mean by API services? Trying to figure out, like new content? Are you looking for new content, Whistle? Just trying to figure out. Graph API, MSFT Reactor, absolutely. Microservices. There is a ton of content on Microsoft Learn and Learn TV and Channel 9. Yeah, they have their own series as well. The Microsoft Reactor, that's absolutely right. You're right, Trooper. Microsoft Reactor, they usually do series, so it's not one-offs. They get MS Learn. And then if you want to get hands-on, then it's MS Learn is where you do the labs, and then MS Learn TV is where you're going to pick up a ton of content. Channel 9 as well on YouTube and Channel 9, the website. There's a lot of content there. And then, you know what? If you jump on YouTube, if you jump on things like ProSite, you can find a lot of content there. If you don't have ProSite, the Microsoft Developer Dev Essentials, if you don't have Dev Essentials, then you can also get free stuff there. You actually get 3 months of Pluralsight, if I remember correctly. Microsoft Dev Essentials. Oh, Visual Studio Dev Essentials. Okay, they changed the name. Developer tools, software trials, and then I don't know if they still do learning, but they had access to Pluralsight and training. Yeah, join our access now. Make sure you do that. Brian Benz, MSFT covers some streams on tweets. Yeah, and tweets as well, man. There's tons here. When the 45 show is down, I watch IBM Developer and learn about IBM Cloud. So far, Azure's safe, I assume. Keep streaming. We'll keep streaming, absolutely. We'll be back next week. Thanks everyone for being part of the stream today. And as always, stay safe and we will see you soon.